What up, family? It's your boy Amadu back with another RuView, and this time I am starting off my Oscar push. I'm gonna be doing a bunch of different videos on different Oscar categories, coming up with some movies that you may have not seen or actors and actresses you may have not noticed, and just highlighting them and what I think might get the nominations or possibly even the wins. This first one is gonna go around Best Picture and 3 of my top Best Picture nominees. Next up is the James Mangold directed film starring Matt Damon and Christian Bale, Ford versus Ferrari. This one is somewhat of my dark horse to win Best Picture because it's everything that Hollywood and the Academy loves. Tentpole, big stars, true story, big tension-filled scenes, action, humor, family. It's just a feel-good, good time at the theater. Somewhat like what Green Book was last year, except without all the bullshit. No log trucks, right? No log trucks. This movie follows the true life story of when the Ford Motor Company wanted to beat Ferrari at its own game to become the premier racing company in the world. To do so, they wanted to beat them in the 24-hour Le Mans Classic in France in 1966. They do this by hiring Carroll Shelby, played by Matt Damon, and driver Ken Miles, played by Christian Bale. Now, I love this movie because 1, the Shelby GT Cobra is my dream car. It is beautiful to look at. But forget all that. The other reason is because the actors and actresses on screen are absolutely amazing in this film, and they're amazing because of the dynamic between them. First, you get the dynamic between Damon and Bale, and even though they can play completely different characters, with Damon playing a lot more muted and humble and down to earth, while Bale's Miles is extremely just brutish and crass and says what he wants. No matter how much they butt heads, you can tell that these two know each other, love each other, and have been friends their entire lives through racing and how much they both have a love for it. Then there's a dynamic in the Miles family where Ken Miles and his wife Molly, played by Kaitrona Balfe or sorry for screwing up your name, but Molly and Ken have a true partnership where you can see that Molly has been there to support Ken's dreams, while at the same time, Ken is willing to sacrifice and drop everything to make sure his family's okay. But even more so than that, the relationship between Ken and his son is a beautiful, strong father-son relationship where you can see that his son, played by Noah Jupe, really truly loves racing because he loves his father and vice versa. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful relationship to see on screen. By far the best dynamic is between Ken and Carroll and their do whatever it takes to win dynamic with the corporate heads of Ford Motor Company. Now, Henry Ford is played by Tracy Letts, and he by far has 2 of the best scenes in the film. One where he tells Shelby to go to war, but secondly, if you've seen the trailer, the one where he's crying in the car, that is surprisingly one of the most emotional scenes in the film, where at first you think you're gonna laugh your behind off, but he really takes it to a place where you did not expect, and it is the best scene of the film. And then Josh Lucas, he is the slime balls of slime balls, and to see him go to war with Ken and Carroll, it is hilarious to see how they try to one-up each other. And John Berthal in the back, just trying to wrangle both sides. Look, I personally thought he was just gonna bust out yelling like he does in The Punisher. And just the clashes between the two sides for them to ultimately try to win the Le Mans race is as dramatic and as tension-filled as the races themselves. Speaking of, James Mangold directs the hell out of this film. You are seriously just brought in and on the edge of your seat, not only in the drama, but in the races, and seeing how dangerous this sport is. I mean, I'm not a NASCAR fan because it's just, but being in the car and seeing how much danger they put themselves in every time they race, you are sitting watching like, look, don't, nothing, please don't. Just, and how they take the curve at 200 miles an hour. It is absolutely breathtaking how he shoots this film and how he puts you in the passenger seat every time. Ford versus Ferrari is an absolutely great time, and it's something you should go see. I loved it, and I would not be surprised if this steals the Best Picture win from Jojo Rabbit, from The Irishman, which I haven't seen yet. It's 3.5 hours, but I'll see it eventually, and the next movie that I'm about to mention coming up shortly.